Hello everybody. Today I am decorating my monthly spread for September and I'm using one of my new creativity kits. This one is for the Big Happy Planner. It will also come in Classic Happy Planner and A5 size. There's a little ink pad, a black ink pad that comes with it, a pen that coordinates in color, and all of these cut papers and some letters also. And of course, a full-size stamp set. The stamp set has beautiful flowers, and they work really well for a fall type layout, a fall type theme. So you're going to get all of this for paper and then a few pieces that I've already cut to fit the Big Happy Planner. And I really love these papers, and I love the way they coordinate. They're part of a collection called Falloween, which is really cute. Okay, my letters, these are like extra letters. So mine are kind of a hot mess, but yours will not look like that if you order one. The words will be in a strip that you can just peel off and place down. I'm also going to use some colored pencils. I'm going to use some Post-it note tape. You'll need a stamp block and some scratch paper. Everything else will come in your kit that you're going to be using. Actually, the ink will come in your kit also. Okay. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, and usually with any project, is I'm going to do the stamping first. Now, I have already have numbers laid down here, even though this is a undated Happy Planner. But you probably won't need to do that unless yours is undated also. And now I'm putting down this Post-it note tape to block off the areas I do not want to stamp. And I'm going to do the stamping inside that rectangle that I just blocked off. And I'm going to use that black ink that comes with the kit, but I'm not going to use it black, actually. I'm going to stamp off once, and you'll see how I do that, so that it gets more of a gray look, more of a faded look. And you can do that pretty much with any color ink, as long as it's not too light already. So I'm going to use 3 of the flowers in the set, and I'm going to use this sunflower. Okay, so I've inked it up in black. I'm going to stamp off once on that scratch paper and stamp again. I just like that more muted look for a planner layout. And so I'm using a sunflower, a chrysanthemum, and a little daisy out of the stamp set. There are 5, oh, don't let me lie. I think there are 5 total flowers in this set. 2, 3, 4, yes, 6 total flowers. There are 2 different daisies. They're turned a little differently. There are 3 sentiments, 4 sentiments in this stamp set also. It's really good if you want to make cards or do a memory keeping layout. Really good for that. And so now I'm just figuring out where I'm going to place what, but I just randomly am doing these flowers around the edges of the rectangle shape I've marked off there, or taped off. And I am going to color them in with colored pencils. The ones I'm going to be using are called Color Burst pencils, and they are like the Prismacolor, the more waxy pencils. But you can use whatever coloring medium you have that won't bleed through the planner page. Or you can just leave them this gray color. I mean, I think that's pretty too. Everything doesn't have to be colorful for this spread if you don't want it to be. So again, just random placement. And that one I forgot to stamp off, and you can see how much darker it is, and I just don't like that look as much. But, you know, it can be a nice look too, and you might prefer it. I'm trying to get kind of a good mix of the flowers. And you really don't want to fill in the whole rectangle. You want to kind of leave some space in the middle because we're going to put something there. Okay. Now we're going to remove the tape, and you can see how nice that looks. It's just inside that area. And I would never be able to keep something inside a rectangle without taping it off. There's just no way I could stamp like that otherwise. Okay, so I'm going to color just a little bit just to give you the idea. Just pulling out some oranges and some yellows and some orangey brown colors, and then a darker brown too. And I'm just doing a quick color with colored pencils. I'm sure you know this because I'm definitely not an expert. But inside, when you're doing colored pencils for anything really, you want to do light layers. And then you could come back and do another layer on top. You don't want to color too hard with them. You just want to build up layers. Okay, and now I've got the little blending stick that works with this type of pencils. It is, I've dipped it in baby oil. I just think baby oil is more reasonably priced than Gamasol, so that's what I use. So now I'm using like a dark orangey color for the chrysanthemum. And I'm going to blend that out too. And I want to show you just one thing you can do. If you wanted to stamp behind one of the flowers, you could stamp on a Post-it note and then cut it out. You're going to cut all the detail out. And I've done one here already. And you just place it. Make sure you get the sticky part of the Post-it note underneath what you stamped. And you're just going to place it there. And then you could stamp another image partly on top of that. And it'll look like your image. When you remove that sticky note, it'll look like your other flower or whatever the image is behind the first one. So that's a really fun look if you want to do that also. Okay, so I'm not going to go too crazy with the coloring because I'll show you at the end my finished product here. Okay, these I have cut to fit the top of the Big Happy Planner. And mostly because, you know, sometimes there's patterns up there and things, and I have a little heart pattern, and that definitely doesn't go with what I want the look I'm looking for. So I'm going to place that strip down and then turn it over and just check and see if there's any little piece that needs to be cut off. And then I'm just going to use my scissors to make that opening again, since I already can see where it was. But, you know, use your punch, whatever you want to use. It doesn't matter. I have a Levenger punch that I've had pre-Happy Planner discovery. And so I like to use that one. Okay, so you can see it's a pretty polka dot in a dark orange, and I love that. Here are the letters. And I've just got the letters for September. I will also include the letters for October. And sometimes on this sticky paper, you can get a little bit of you can see the glue between when there's openings to the letters. And so all I do with that is either rub it, you know, off with my finger or take something pointy and put it through there to get rid of the excess. But I love these little letters. So cute. And I love this yellow, which is called pineapple. What is it called? Pineapple smoothie. I like that color of paper and the color of ink. And that's the nice thing about going with one company for all these products is they all color coordinate. I was able to get everything that the colors go together. And there's a little extra glue on there. And you can see I've got some other letters. So we're going to be doing something else, not just this September with these letters. And where's the R? I lose the R for a moment, but it turns up. I always worry that when I'm looking for something that it's right there on screen and all of you are looking at it going, it's right there. And I'm the only one that doesn't see it. Because that has happened before. Okay, so now I'm going to put hello down here in the middle of these flowers. And I'm going to put fall on the other side. So it's going to say hello fall. The first day of fall is the 22nd of the month this year. I don't know if it's the same day every year or I don't think so. I think it varies slightly. And I did the yellow for this one, and it's not standing out as much as I'd like it to on the white. It stands out much better on the polka dot paper. So you'll see at the end what I end up doing with that because I just didn't like that look as much. Okay, moving on. This is what I'm using for the sidebar, and it's a striped piece of paper that coordinates with all of this. And then I've got some of that this floral paper that to me looks like chrysanthemums. And I'm going to place this down on the side, and that's where I'm going to put my list of my important things for the month. You can also put, like on these little squares, you can put the habit tracker that you might be using. Whatever it is you need to put in your sidebar, you could just layer it right on top of these. And I am doing some layering because there's not as much that I want to show at the top, but at the bottom I do. Because that to me is the perfect place to put a habit tracker or anything like that, or a quote, which is what I end up doing with it as a quote. And let's see what else. Now we have all this paper left that we can do anything we want to with. We can cut a full box out of it and then put your number on top. Even if yours is already numbered, a full box and then getting another sticky number to put on top is always a cute idea. Okay, so we're going to stamp up a few of these flowers onto colored paper and cut them out. And when you're fussy cutting, first I cut the image out, basically just a circle out or a square out, whatever is the closest to the image that I need to fussy cut. And then as I'm fussy cutting, I'm not moving my scissors. I'm moving my paper. The only moving of my scissors I'm doing is to change spots I'm in when I snip out one edge. I need to go back in. But otherwise, I'm turning the paper, and that really works out a lot better when you're fussy cutting. And I'm just going to find room for some flowers here and there, just creating a different look. Yeah, I really like the idea. I want to mark off for sure the 22nd because that's the first day of fall. I might have some birthdays I want to mark off. Labor Day's in there somewhere. So I'm going to use these flowers just kind of to highlight those areas. And I'll be using some more of the papers to do some more with this. And so in just a second, I'm going to show you how I finish this off. And of course, there are many, many options because you've got all of the papers to work with. This is my finished layout and what I did with some of the supplies that were in the kit. I stamped Thankful, and that's part of the stamp set, and I dovetailed these pieces. I stamped out some more flowers, put them around. I just thought it looked better. And then I cut some of these strips of the different pattern paper, and I just randomly put those around. And of course, I wrote in Labor Day and a birthday I want to remember. Over here on the side, I took some letters that I have that are in a sticker book from Bambi, Happy Planner people. And I put MIT. These will be my most important tasks for the month. I don't yet know what they are for September. I'm not that forward planning. But this is what I will put there. And then this, I just wrote reading. I'm going to put the books that I'm going to read for the month of September down here. And then there's this little sticker. It's a Bambi sticker again that says, let's do this. So I don't know if that shows up really well. It looks really clear to me, but I don't know if it shows up really well on camera. Down here, I took the little daisy stamp that's in the stamp set, and I took some yellow ink. This is the pineapple smoothie that I've used paper from, and I just stamped lightly here at the bottom. And what I did was I just taped off this section up top, and then I put some scratch paper underneath the page so that I could stamp and not get it on the surface or anything like that. And it's very pale. I don't even know if you can see them, but it looks really pretty to me. So I liked that look. Oh, and I also took this pen, this Paper Mate Flare. And of course, I don't know the name of it. They don't put names on them, do they? No. And I just went around the words to make them stand out just a little bit better. I thought that was just something they needed. And I might have gone around these also up to September, except for the fact that it's on that printed paper. So I think it makes it stand out all on its own. So that's what mine ended up looking like. I don't know how you'll use all the additional supplies that you receive, or if you'll even use the recommendations I gave you about how to stamp in your planner. But I look forward to seeing them, and I hope some of you will share pictures with me. I will have a link soon for my shop that opens up August 15th. And it will have the link to how you can order this kit for yourself in either Big Happy Planner, Classic Happy Planner, or A5. Those are the sizes I'm doing right now. Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and happy planning.